Welcome to the Inside Post. This episode, we have a special Kentucky Derby preview of our top 10 horses currently in the Kentucky Derby races, or the ones that we kind of like moving forward into the Kentucky Derby prep season. So, kind of go along with us. We're just in here giving you our top 10. Nothing spectacular. If you watch, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, comment down below your top 5 number 1 horse right now for the Kentucky Derby, as it's a little bit early in January. Number 10, Rodriguez. Kind of interesting horse enough. Second, 6 furlongs, maiden special weighted Del Mar. First, going 1 mile, so kind of stretches out after that 6 furlong race at Santa Anita. Picks up a huge win in there and kind of like readjust this one's speed figure on the day. So if you've seen or follow the horse racing stuff, you know that they've kind of moved this horse's speed numbers around and whatnot to bumping it up. So this one's kind of been on a target here to see where this one goes next. Hopefully we see this one in a stakes race for Derby points in the future, because I think this one has a lot of upside just coming off of that last win. Number 9, we have Journalism. The winner of the Los Al Futurity, beating out those other contingents of Bob Baffert. This is a Curlin-bred horse for Mike McCarthy. Looked really good in there, beating out some of those other Bafferts on a big stakes day. First, going a mile, broke its maiden going a mile at Del Mar. Third, however, when it went shorter at 6 furlongs. So kind of see that this one continues to get better as they kind of add the distance. Obviously, the pedigree out of Curlin, it's going to take to the longer distance for sure. So I want to keep note of as it kind of moves forward through the Kentucky Derby prep, spring, summer, whatever you may call it. Looks like could be possibly pointed to the Santa Anita Derby, rightfully so, out in California, or even the Robert Lewis. And then obviously hopes of Kentucky Derby. So that's kind of the two preps where they have Journalism pointed to set this one up for Derby hopes. Number 8, we have Poster. Okay, so this one comes out of the Remsen winner in there. First in an allowance at Keeneland. However, was on the turf, and as you can see, so was the maiden, breaking its maiden on the turf as well. But that was at Ellis Park. This one's out of Munnings. So obviously the horse kind of winning those first 2 races on turf is great. The horse should take to the dirt fairly easily. Obviously it did. Winning of the Remsen in there. Now it sets up to run on the Naira side of the Derby preps, going with maybe the Wood, the Gotham, and even possibly the Withers as what the connections for Poster is going to set this one up to be. This is the Go Dolphin trained Ewan Harty. He has another horse, but I feel like Poster is definitely the better horse of the Ewan Harty's lineup. Number 7, we have Showcase. Probably a horse that's not going to get a whole lot of attention. It's kind of way down on the bottom. Hasn't really ran in a prep race, so to speak. First in the Saratoga Special. First going 5 furlongs, breaking its maiden in there. Owned. I'm not sure who the owner is on that. The silks are kind of different, but it is trained by Todd Pletcher. It was bred by Windstar Farms. Out of Uncle Mo. The mare buy, sell, and hold is out of Violence. So this horse definitely has some upside. A 101 speed figure last time out, so kind of going back with Rodriguez. And like I said, Todd Pletcher horse, this was kind of the only one that's kind of caught our eye of the Pletchers. Some of his other ones have been beaten out by some of the other contingents. So Showcase, interesting to see what this one has in store. Right now, this one doesn't have a Derby prep lined up. Again, another one that's kind of been up in the New York side of things, so maybe possibly seeing it staying up there and possibly running the Wood. Or being Pletcher, may ship it down to run in some of the Florida races. Number 6, we have Gaming, another Baffert in here. One that's kind of started off hot, then kind of ran into some of the other Baffert horses. And like I said, the McCarthy trained Journalism in the Los Al. Third in that Los Al Futurity, second in the Breeders' Cup behind Citizens Bull, and then first in the Del Mar Futurity. Speed figures have kind of been all around the board. 100 was the best in the juvenile for the Breeders' Cup Day. Comes back in the Los Al Futurity. Again, has to beat out Getaway Car. And like I said, the McCarthy trained journalism was in there as well and ran a pretty good race on the day. I just think this horse has a lot of upside, obviously. Ran in already 2 grade 1 races, 1 grade 2. Obviously, that 3rd place finish last time out, the horse has just been put through the ringer. So it's going to take some time off. Looks to be aimed at the Southwest Stakes here coming up in a couple weeks, January 25th. So we'll see if he's able to run a big race that day. Number 5, we have Rated by Merit. Another one that's kind of quietly come up through the field. And here, as you can see, the horse has put off 4 straight wins, so 4 for 4 in career. All done it in these kind of lower Florida Sire stakes races down at Gulfstream Park. However, these first Dr. Fager stakes was going 6 furlongs, the Affirm stakes going 7, and then tries a mile and a 16th in the In Reality stakes. All of those winners of each one of those. The last 2, the Reality and the Affirm, 103 and 104 speed figures, 4 Rated by Merit. So wow, what a speedster we have. Kind of unfamiliar with the pedigree side of it, so definitely going to do a deeper dive on this. Battalion Runner, with banner waving by Speightstown on the mare side, owned by St. Elias Stables, trained by Michael Yates. So definitely interesting what this horse is going to do. Right now, I don't know if this is pointed anywhere. Right now, it says Florida Derby on Horse Racing Nation. After those 3 boom, boom, boom big stakes wins, this one could be a pretty good price on Florida Derby Day. So take note of this one as it comes in. They're kind of going to be undefeated if we don't see it anywhere else. Number 4, we have Sovereignty. This is a really good horse as well. Wilmot, Junior Alvarado, probably going to be the likely jockey up on this. Another Dolphin-owned colt in here. This one is out of Into Mischief, however, with mare Crowned by Bernardini. As you can see, first in that Street Sense 92 speed figure in there. Second, there should be a second going a mile on the maiden special weight at Belmont at the Aqueduct. Not a first. Was beat out by a pretty good horse that day, but still ran a pretty good 98 speed figure. Career best so far for Sovereignty. As of now, the horse is not pointed anywhere. Coming out of the Street Sense at Churchill, could kind of wait to see how this horse comes out. Probably we're going to see this horse, I would think, rather soon, probably January, maybe February. We get a little peek of where Sovereignty is going to go. Likely maybe going to go south to the Arkansas Derby, Tampa Bay Derby, something along those lines for Sovereignty. Number 3, we have Citizens Bull, kind of the one sitting at the top of the Derby points, or up at the top since the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, first in the American Pharaoh, third in that Del Mar Futurity. Has ran against his other company of Gaming and Getaway Car, Mackenzie Street, Hill Road. All these horses have been on the Derby Trail for quite some time. Citizens Bull out of the American Pharaoh and obviously the Juvenile, getting a lot of buzz as the number 1 horse for Baffert, or, on the Derby Trail, number 1 horse for some time. Looks like to be pointed towards the Robert Lewis in February, where this horse is going to try to get its Derby points to get itself into the Derby field. Baffert's going to have to be a little strategic with where he places some of these horses in the Gaming, Getaway Car, Citizens Bull, Barnes, of where they're going to go, so they kind of don't overlap. That way he can just fill the gate with all of his horses, which it seems like what he's going to do. This one has a slew of owners, Starlight, Mataket, Stone Street, all the works. It is out of Into Mischief. The mare, no joke, is by Distorted Humor, so what a pedigree this one has for Baffert yet again. So probably one that we are definitely going to see just because of the juvenile juvenile win with the points. This one obviously is going to make the gate for the Kentucky Derby, miring any setbacks. Number 2, Coal Battle. Kind of a quiet horse coming out of that Jean Lafayette Stakes, the Springboard Mile. A lot of people were like, okay, this is a pretty good horse. Then it kind of picks up a nice win in the Smarty Jones, beats out some really good horses in there as well. The only downfall we see on this one is I believe it's raced like 6 times. The horse has been all over. It's been on the dirt, been on the turf, been on the mud, and been on a fast track. But 3 wins in a row definitely has this horse going in the right direction. Looks to be pointed at the Southwest Stakes. Another quick turnaround, which seems like what Lonnie Briley seems to do with these horses. Gonna point this one right back either to the Southwest or the Rebel. Hopefully the Rebel. Give this horse some time off, even though it seems to be in great form right now. Running at all distances, 5 furlongs, 1 mile, 6.5. And then last time out, obviously, in the Smarty Jones, mile and a 16th. Definitely one that's, been winning. Numbers are kind of a little bit slower than some of these other speedsters, but just the way that the horse has been able to win, especially on an off track, is kind of interesting, especially if it does make the gate and we get in a crazy situation of a muddy Kentucky Derby. And number 1, you probably guess what this one's going to be. And this is probably going to be on a lot of people's number 1 list. This is just where we are right now. Before we even click, we'll just build up that anticipation. No, it is not Torpedo Anna. No, it's not Sierra Leone. Come on, guys. We know they are not 3-year-olds. No, it is not the filly, Mohima. She is a standout for filly. It is Barnes, number 1. Like I said, Baffert's got a whole bunch of them. Kind of interesting to see what he's able to do or where he's going to point some of these horses. Barnes seems to be, how do I want to say it, one of the hotter ones that he has right now. Another one, out of Into Mischief. The Mare All-American Dream is out of American Pharaoh, owned by Sedan Racing Stables. Both of these guys obviously trying to get back to the Kentucky Derby, win the Kentucky Derby, prove a point, whatever it is they're trying to do. This one has that Baffert-esque of some of his other Kentucky Derby winners. Now, he has 2 races. That's great. He did it at Churchill going 5.5. His last one, the San Vicente, he did it going 7 furlongs. So the big question mark right now, and we kind of we're lenient about putting this horse at the number 1, is what can he do going 2 turns or going over a mile? We've yet to see it, and we probably will have a month and a half or so until we see it again. Looks like the Rebel and the San Felipe is where he has been pointed to next, and then following it up with the big Arkansas Derby. I think the horse is great. You look at the stride. You can even look at the stride and the muscle physique in the photo itself that this horse is strong. It definitely has the form, has the muscle, has the tone that a lot of these Baffert horses going to show. The big question right now is what's he going to do? Obviously going longer. The pedigree is all there for him to go longer. Obviously they're just kind of getting this one warmed up. As you can see in his 2 starts, were basically warm-ups. He's yet to be probably cranked up. And we may not even see him cranked up yet until he gets into one of the bigger points races, which is just going to be phenomenal to see. And like I said, he broke his maiden at Churchill Downs, but it was 5 furlongs. So that's kind of where we are on our Kentucky Derby top 10. We get into the whole slew of January, February, and even March Kentucky Derby preps. We'll try to put some of these out every other week or so as we update our top 10. We will also have those Derby prep preview races as we kind of analyze the runners for that day. So make sure to subscribe, turn your notifications on, leave us a like, join in on one of our live streams where we talk about horses live and betting live. Easy to drop in and join the conversation about the Kentucky Derby. So we thank you for watching. Enjoy your day. Go win big.